Hi, everybody. So I got some wonderful feedback from a lot of people who have watched my first video and have requested a second video. So here it is. Thank you for your feedback and for watching that first video. I know it was very long. I'm going to try to shorten this one a bit. And I got my hair out of my face. I got that feedback too. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that went on in the hospital that were good. I know the last video, you could probably tell there was some anger still associated with how the medical stuff went for me. And I think I have a right to be angry, but I also have a right to let that go. So I want to talk about some happy things that happened while I was in the hospital. So my dad, he would bring me breakfast every morning once I was able to communicate again after the second surgery. So he would bring bacon and eggs or French toast or Bojangles. If you're from around here, you know what Bojangles is. And he would always bring enough to feed the nurse on staff or other visitors that I may have at that time. So that was very, very sweet. I was also able to get my hair washed and straightened while I was in the hospital. There was a guy named Jacques who has a government grant to go around to patients and, cut their hair or wash their hair and fix it up a little bit for them. So I was able to do that, and that was on Christmas Eve. And the biggest thing I was able to do while I was in the hospital, which was breaking all the rules, my son, who was under the age of 12 at the time, he was 10, was able to come visit me on Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Eve, my whole family was in that small ICU room, and I had a little 3-foot Christmas tree, and we had snacks and listened to Christmas music and made it as Christmas as we could for everybody. And I think that helped everybody, not just me. So when I got to go home, um, I remember my husband pulling the car around in front of the hospital while I was sitting in the wheelchair with a vase of wildflowers in my lap. And I remember thinking, the car is small. The car's smaller than I remember it. So that was kind of strange. Got in the car, sniffed on the flowers the whole way home. It's December. I'm rolling down the window because it's the first time I've been outside in 3 weeks. And it's just, it's so amazing to feel the wind again and smell the smells again. And my husband kept rolling up the window telling me I was going to get sick. And then the music was on in the radio, and I would turn it up if I knew a song, and I would spill out all the words. And I was so happy that I remembered words from songs and I was sing them. And he was like, "You're going to give yourself a headache. Turn that down." So that was my ride home. I was just so excited to be out of that hospital. And I couldn't get enough of nature and of music and of just being out of that bed. So when I got home, the first couple of weeks, you get a lot of visitors. You get a lot of people that want to hear the story. And you do your best to host those people, even though you are exhausted from the surgery and you're still trying to heal and you're still trying to figure out why everything's not as it was before. So you put a smile on and you push through it. And, some days are better than others, but you continue to push through it because you still have a lot of people in your life that think because you're home and you survived, everything goes back to normal. And you're slowly figuring out that things are not normal, that your train of thought is not the same, your ability to speak your mind is not the same because you don't know your mind. So very tired, very confused. I started cognitive therapy within that 2-week time frame, and I couldn't drive at the time, so somebody would always take me. And it was interesting because I would be in cognitive therapy and they would say, every time this says 7, push the button. And I would push the button and think that I had gotten all the 7s. And then they would tell me, well, you missed 8 times that it said number 7. Well, how did I miss that? I hit it. I heard the number 7. How did I miss? Why? Oh, so things really don't work like they used to. And, they put simple mathematic word problems in front of me Johnny made 5 shots and each shot is worth 2 points. And then Timmy made 6 shots and each shot is worth 2 points. So how many points do they have together? I don't know how to figure that out. I don't know how to do that. And I'm coming from a job where I helped to manage a multi-million-dollar budget across 4 departments. So that was really frustrating and infuriating. And in addition to trying to figure out why things aren't working and how to keep going and how to keep that smile on my face, I was also trying to get back to a normal routine. I've got a son here who expects breakfast every morning and a walk to the bus stop, and mom's going to pick me up from school, or, his normal routine. And I didn't want to let him down, and I didn't want to let my family down. So I continued to strive to be the person I used to be, knowing in my head at that point that I'm not that person anymore on a wide scale. One of the sayings that I came up with, well, there's 2 actually. So the aneurysms and the complications did not make me a victim. They made me a survivor. Again, I know that last video was full of anger towards the medical profession. But if I hadn't gone through the things that I went through, I wouldn't be able to be who I am now. And I appreciate who I am now. I'm proud of who I am now. The strength that it took to get through those last 10 years is immeasurable, but it helped me get to where I am now. Another saying that I came up with, just thinking about putting this video together, was when we go through survival, when we go through recovery for caregivers and for ourselves, we need time to figure out what's different, what our abilities are now versus what they were before. And we need time to mourn the person we were. So we know that that person is not going to come back. There's never going to be 100% that person. There may be 100% this new person, but we have to let go of what we were in order to become what we're going to be. And that's really hard. Mourning the death of someone is complete. They're not going to come back. They're not, death is ultimate. Recovery from a brain aneurysm is not ultimate, because some days it may feel like you're going to get to be that person again, and then you'll take 5 steps back that you don't even recognize, and try to start all over again. And some days it's just best to leave us alone and let us lay in bed and just not. And then other days it's best to push us. But it's really hard to tell you what days those are. Maybe if you push for 5 minutes a day and then gradually increase that to 10 minutes a day. And that's survivors too. Push yourself for that. In the morning, if you get up and you want to walk, but you're like, no, I'm too tired. Walk. Take the 5-minute walk and go back home and lay down and go into that tiredness. Then the next morning, take that 5-minute walk. The next morning, 5-minute walk. The next week, 10-minute walk. Just baby steps. And if you have a support group around you that can help you with that, family, friends, whatever, walk with them. And don't get upset with them when they want to keep you in line with your walk, or with your recovery, whichever you choose to do. Walk, do crossword puzzles, go to therapy, whatever it is. Don't skip out on that, because you're cheating yourself. You're cheating your recovery. Don't cheat yourself, because you're worth every penny. You're worth every penny you put into yourself. So if you want to be worth a lot, work a lot and it'll get better. Let's see. I want to talk about a little bit about how, when I'm still trying to keep this short, how when the doctors release you, whether it's, 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, and you are told you can go back to life, you can go back to doing you. There's a euphoria that comes with that. It's kind of like they took the handcuffs off. There's a lot of things we can't do when we first come out of the hospital. We can't drink. We can't, stay up too late. We can't watch TV sometimes. We can't listen to music sometimes. There's a lot of, we can't drive. So when we're released back into normal life, there's euphoria that comes with that. I beat it, I mastered it, I'm good to go. And we get excited and we want to go on that trip or buy that bag or have that party. We don't want to stop. We want to enjoy every aspect of life because now we have a bigger appreciation for it. But at the same time that we're doing that, it's not always euphoric. It can be used as a mask, to mask the fact that we're running away from what our new reality is. And we're not giving ourselves time to figure out that reality. You've got to give yourself time and you've got to use the resources. I have a lot more to go into with recovery, but I wanted to keep this short. So those are the first 2 weeks back home, and the next video will likely be, the first 6 months and some more information on cognitive therapy. And then I'll get you guys up to date on the new aneurysm that I have that I was diagnosed with in December. So please continue to watch and please continue to provide feedback. I really, really enjoy the fact that you guys are finding some useful information in these. And, I'll keep doing them as long as you keep enjoying them. So thanks so much. Hope everybody's well. Enjoy your day.